Monday. Anybody that enters into the room, peace and happy Monday. Please share this live. If you enter into the room, I ask that you enter into the room with an open mind and don't bring any negativity with you and negative energies. Please enter into the room with an open mind. This is a room and a time and a space where I ask you to come in to sit your emotions down and bring your brain to the table so that we can have a conversation. I'm asking everybody to bring your brain to the table, sit your feelings down, and to come in with an open mind. Grand noon, grand rising, whatever time it is where you live. My name is Nairi Sanchez, known as Chameleon the Seer, here on TikTok. Also known as the Talking Tarot Show on Facebook, Nairi Sanchez. And I am here to give a timely message of why the Nation of Islam is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical rehab for the original first fruits of the earth. Please share this live if you get in tune or you come in. Please share the live before I get started. I ask that you come in with an open mind and a positive attitude to what I have to say. There may be some things that I say that may be offensive to some people. However, please do not take offensive to it. I don't know you personally, so this is not about you. This is just about a message that I've been inspired to come here and give to my people specifically of why the Nation of Islam is spiritual rehab, emotional and mental rehab for the Aboriginal nations. And I want to start off by thanking anybody who is sharing the live, okay? So those that have been following me and those that know me, personally, those that don't know me personally, I am a natural born psychic medium, an intuitive person that I can read people and I have prophetic dreams and stuff like that. So a little about a year and a half ago, I started having prophetic dreams about the Nation of Islam. Excuse me, y'all. I got my incense lit and I don't want it blowing all in my face because I don't want to be choking while I'm talking to y'all. And in these prophetic dreams, and you can check them out on my YouTube channel as well at the Talking Tarot Show. But in these dreams, I was at the U.S. military base with Farrakhan, his wife, and the FOI and the NOI and the peace be upon him people, right? I'm not Muslim literate, so excuse me if I say something wrong. I don't want to offend nobody there either. Or rather. So I had this dream repeatedly that I just kept seeing bombs go off. It was just like they was overturning the U.S. nation, the U.S. government in these dreams, right? And I was always with Farrakhan and his wife, like I was their daughter, right? And I feel like I might be their spiritual daughter in another lifetime. That's how deep these dreams was, y'all. And I kept dreaming about Muslim stuff and Arabic people, Arabic stuff, not the people that we know today, but our original people, our original, lands and stuff like that. And I just was like, why do I keep having these dreams about all this Muslim Arabic stuff? So I'm tripping, laughing about it at first, but I kept saying I was going to dig into it, but I didn't do it, y'all. So I want to say towards 2022, they started resurfacing again. And I was recording all of this on my Facebook page. So y'all know, look, I can't make this up. I don't be coming on here to make up stuff and lie. I only come live and I only get on social media when I have a message. So last year, going towards the end of last year, I dreamt it again. That Farrakhan, the FOI, the NOI, and even Obama was in a couple of these dreams. But they was blowing up the U.S. government again. And I'm like, what? Okay, that's it. This time I started reaching out to experienced Muslims to ask questions because now I'm like, why am I dreaming this? I come from a Christian background. I'm not anymore, but I grew up Jehovah's Witness and I got baptized back in 2016. So me and the Nation of Islam didn't have a connection. And I'm not around anybody that's affiliated like that with the Nation of Islam. So I didn't know why I was dreaming all this stuff, y'all. Clearly they were prophetic dreams. So come to find out, Mr. Louis Farrakhan gave speech at Savior's Day this year. And guess what it was entitled? The War at Armageddon has begun. So that ain't no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? And I keep dreaming about Farrakhan. He's astral projecting to me. So now I'm like, this man gotta be an oracle, because he's coming in my dreams telling me things. And all the stuff that he was telling me in my dreams was being confirmed by the people of the nation that I was talking to. Okay. Then I started getting visits from Elijah Muhammad. Then I started getting visits from Malcolm X, and they started telling me stuff. And these dreams kept coming, y'all. All these prophetic things kept coming to me. So now I'm tripping like I need answers. Okay? I ain't going to get too much off into some of the things that they were saying to me, but I'm just going to say this. I got to a place to where I said, I need to go visit a mosque and see for myself. Now, there were people trying to tell me, you don't want to go to the mosque. They ain't going to be doing up a praying all day. And everybody had their input, right? Which is fine. People are obligated to that. So, I'm going to listen to the divine. If the ancestors is coming to me, of course, I'm not going to listen to somebody that's not on my spiritual journey. And I encourage anybody that's on a spiritual journey, follow your own lead. Follow your own intuitions. Follow your own matters. And what it is that you need to do to develop yourself or to complete your journey. Your journey is not going to be mine, and mine is not going to be the next person's. People are going to have opinions. Do not allow that to counteract what you're being led to do intuitively. Journey. So I started going to the mosque, I want to say, a couple of weeks ago. Emotions been all over the place. It was overwhelming, y'all, that I really was sitting there listening to them say all the stuff that Farrakhan was coming to me in my dreams saying, that Elijah Muhammad was coming to me. And when Elijah Muhammad started appearing to me, this wasn't a dream. I was woke like I am right now talking to y'all. I do have connections with the other realms. I've been like this all my life. But I've never had this kind of connection when it comes down to nothing like this. So it's, it was a little overwhelming. So to make a long story short, when I got there and I heard their first meeting, I was just like in awe, because it wasn't religious. It had nothing. It's like they used religious context, but they made it make sense to us in a literal, in a physical sense. So they understand the esoteric language, that we learned in Christianity. A lot of us learn in Christianity, like they say, Jesus died on a cross and all of that type of stuff. Well, we know that didn't actually happen. You understand what I'm saying? Those are esoteric meanings to things. And once you understand the esoteric meaning and the spiritual meaning of all of this stuff that we've been learning in religion and stuff that we've been indoctrinated with, it changes your mind. It raises your consciousness and your awareness, not only to what's going on around you, but to yourself, who you are genetically, who you are spiritually. The fact that you are, if you pretty much look like I do, that you are the first fruit. You are the first fruit, the original man and original woman, which they uplift so much. And had I not went for myself to witness this, you understand? Do not let other people and their opinions and whatever there is, don't let them discourage y'all on this spiritual journey. So I'm here to talk about why the NOI is a spiritual rehab for the original man and woman. Because you have to look at statistically that we live in a very racist society, a very misogynistic society. We've been told all of this through our religious institutions, through our educational institutions. That this is the bar, this is the way it's supposed to be, right? But we know in this country there's no equilibrium when it comes down to all man. You understand what I'm saying? We know how our people are treated in this society, and a lot of people get uncomfortable with that conversation. But if you don't have the conversation, how is it that you're going to educate your people? How is it that you're going to continue to educate yourself and raise your own awareness if you're scared to offend your friends because they're a different race or a different culture? If they're your friends, guess what? They already know what time it is. These people know what has been done to us. They're not blind, deaf, dumb, and stupid to it. You understand? But they don't like to talk about it. Why? Because it's never stopped. It constantly goes on. So then that leads us to say, where's our protection as a people? Who do we have to go to? When you look at it, you got to think about it. Most of our people, especially our young men, they go to jail at a very early age, or they experience getting into trouble at a very young age. But we know why that is, because of the places that we were forced to live in, the schools that we were forced to go to, and then they don't teach us nothing in school. Then the only hope they give us is the churches on the corner, next to all the liquor stores down the street, on top of the 20 fast food restaurants they got in our neighborhoods, killing us. And then we go to the market, we get the lowest grade of everything that they have to offer on the produce counters in sections, So we know what this society has done to us as a people. But I want to say that as a person who grew up Jehovah's Witness and studied the Bible for over 25 years in theocratic school ministry and knocked on doors and had Bible studies myself with people and got on a podium and gave talks and, been out in the ministry, I've lived that life. It never gave me any inclination of who I was, not only as a spiritual being, but as a physical being, as who I am, the original person on this earth. In fact, me learning a lot of my Christian knowledge actually gave me the opposite. It stripped me from who I was, because it told me that everything that God ever used was white, or was whitewashed, or was Caucasian, or was everything except me. I didn't see myself in any Christian history at all, studying that religion, living in that religion. I did not see myself. And I started to have an issue with that as I got older. So I know a lot of y'all have been through this, or you may be going through this or experiencing this. It's only natural to look for yourself in any history that you're studying. And if Christianity is biblical or spiritual or godly knowledge, wisdom, and history, and they're constantly giving you these images that look nothing like you at all, even when it comes to the angelic beings, they don't look like you. You have to at some point question, what is this? Why is everything I see look opposite of me? I don't see myself in this history. So as I left there, I feel like that was me going through those spiritual transformations so that I could learn that way, so that when I finally do cleanse myself of all those lies that we've been taught in Christianity, and give myself some years to heal from that spiritual trauma, that at some point the divine knew and the ancestors knew they were going to shift my directions. And they did. I went from starting a business of reading people and only to help them go within, raise their consciousness, do things different, and switch gears in their life to help them, right? I'm veering away from personal readings at this point, because I just opened up another part of my business. And the reason why is because readings, it doesn't help everybody. Because you'll have repeated people that just want to keep getting readings about the same stuff. I'm not with that. I don't want your money. If what I'm offering isn't helping you, then I don't want to service you. And that's why I have closed the list to accept people to come in and get personal readings. Okay. So as I'm doing all of this, now I'm constantly being led in this direction to go check out this mosque and see what this is, right? Why is this stuff coming to me? As I went there, the conversation that they had was not preachy. It wasn't the average typical church meeting that you're going to go to. There wasn't nobody standing up screaming and hollering. Wasn't no emotional outbursts. People running around screaming. I ain't nothing. Hey, if that's what you do, peace be upon you. I have no issue with that. What I'm doing is I'm giving a review of what I experienced on my own personal journey to help the next person that may be in the same situation or the same boat, and they're just looking for clarity. That's what this is. This is not to tell nobody, go, you need to become a Muslim. I'm not telling nobody to do that either. What I'm doing is I'm telling you my experiences of visiting the mosque and listening to their meetings. They are talking about bringing us as a people back to our natural cause, back to our natural habitat, back to our natural consciousness. This is about restoration of our people as Aboriginal people. And these young men going to prison at young ages, they don't give you no help. They don't give you no rehab. They send you to prison. They cuff you up in there at a young age. And most of the average black young men go to prison between the age of 16 and 24. And a lot of them are there until they're in their 30s and 40s. And when they come out, what do you have? What do you know? You've been gone. They don't give you any mental, emotional recovery, spiritual recovery. That's not what that is. Prison for us is just another form of a plantation. And we already know this, right? The average Caucasian person or other in our country will go to prison and do 7 to 8 years for a same crime that one of our people have committed. They will go to jail for half their life for. The same person that looks opposite of us will do the same crime that one of us do, and all of a sudden they'll be considered their childhood. Oh, they didn't have a father, or their father and their mother was on drugs, and oh, they got involved with the wrong crowd, and oh, they were suffering from mental illness, and we have to question their... Let one of us or one of our young men do the same exact crime or the same exact offense. They're not going to consider their mental status. They're going to call him a savage, a thug, and everything else they can think of that will downgrade and tear you and rip you apart and make you feel like you're nothing but a beast and a savage. That's cursed by God, because that is how they killed us mentally and emotionally and spiritually in the first place, by telling us we're cursed. This is why we suffer so much injustice. They made it their God-given right to treat us the way that they treated us, and they used their Bibles, their revamped Bibles to do so, their religions to do so. So when you look at the Nation of Islam and how they are taking young men and reforming them, giving them purpose, restoring them back to their natural self as the God, restoring the woman back to her natural self as the God, the life giver. You're not getting that in Christianity. You're not. And I've had people say, well, what about Elijah Muhammad? He got them women pregnant. They killed Malcolm X. True enough, all of that's real. But can I ask y'all a serious question? Can we have a real conversation? Y'all pastors do the same thing. The people who gave y'all your religion over there in the Vatican have a history of molesting little boys. Christianity has a history of being separate between races and culture. The KKK call themselves devout Christians. So they walk around with their crosses burning. The same cross they told you your Savior died for you on. And y'all don't question that. Y'all don't have nothing to say about that. True enough, Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam had their differences. That happened. Nobody can deny that. But y'all also can't deny that some of our grandfathers, some of our uncles, some of our brothers, some of our relatives have also been out here taking other people's lives that look like you over drug money, molesting the little girls in the family. R. Kelly, one of the favorite people in our culture. But when he did what he did to those little girls, nobody wanted to hold him accountable. So you mean to tell me y'all gonna hold one man accountable for whatever he did? Not saying he was right, because it wasn't right. None of it was right. But you're gonna take all the good and act like you don't see none of that based off of something that happened before some of us was even born, just to say, I ain't going to do that. I don't want to hear what they got to say. Come on, let's all be real. Y'all got these racist people coming up in y'all churches, taking us out. Y'all got pastors coming out with scandals all the time with their little sexcapades, with sleeping and swapping wives and husbands in the churches. Other women in there getting pregnant by the pastors, married pastors. And y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all still run up in them churches every week. But you still not learning nothing about yourself. You're still not being resurrected mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You're still not getting any healing. You're still not getting any help. What you're getting is a whole bunch of, what am I looking for? That the effect that make you believe at the moment that you're getting something. That psychedelic effect is what you're getting. But then you go back home, you still got the same problems. You're not learning nothing about yourself. You're not learning nothing about your culture. You're not learning nothing about your history. You're not learning nothing about your future. Nothing. You're not even getting any protection or refuge in these places. But y'all don't question none of that. So I'm going to ask everybody to put your emotions down and pick up your brain and be open-minded with what I'm saying. And the reason why the Nation of Islam is spiritual, emotional, and mental rehab for us, because it not only uplifts our men, but it also uplifts our women back to her natural habitat. The black woman, the original woman, the aboriginal, the indigenous woman, the first fruits, and that's what we are. When you have a nation of people that recognize the honor and the glory of Mother Earth and the original first fruit, like we running around here right now going through all these gender wars, right? Everybody got a podcast. It's not helping. It's toxic. All these podcasts are doing is spreading more and more and more toxicity. They say that now our own men are becoming the new KKK. Because I know a lot of y'all probably saw the video where, you got these men talking about orphan women that look like you. They're calling us enemies of them, saying that we're the most evil to them. And these are men that look like you and me that's doing this. But the nation is telling you that the black woman is the second self of God. We're the co-creators of the God. Who is the God? You aboriginal man, you indigenous man, you black man, it's you. So if you're not going nowhere, if where you could be reformed from coming from this right here to this, what do we really have? Because the American society don't provide this for us, y'all. And we all know this. We're not getting this from none of their schools. We don't get this from their prisons. We don't even get it from their mental institutions, because it's not designed to give us that. It's not designed to restore us. It's not designed to give us the rehab we truly need. And until you can rebuild yourself spiritually and mentally and resurrect and raise that consciousness of who you are, instead of walking around here believing all these whitewashed lies about Christmas and Easter and all these holidays and, looking at something else other than yourself, thinking that it's better. Want to go outside of yourself and reproduce. Until you can get back to this, or until you can find another nation on the planet Earth itself that is doing this for us as a community, we ain't got nothing to talk about. That's all I'm saying. We can't even have a conversation. If you're not going to hold your own self accountable, if you're not going to hold your pastors accountable, if you're not going to hold this government accountable for what it's done to us as a people, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. Because what I'm telling you is the Nation of Islam has done more good for us as a community than any other institution in the American society that you can think of. All the single mothers. You out here, fighting with your baby's father, because he won't help you with your child. You ain't got nowhere to go. You taking them to therapy. You taking them to counseling. I'm speaking on it because I experienced it. Hello. This is the subject I'm speaking on. I have sons. And it's so many of our young men that need structure and discipline. There's so many of our grown men out here that need structure and discipline. They don't have money management skills. They don't have any sexual discipline. They don't have any spiritual discipline. They walking around here like zombies because they don't know who they are, and they're wondering why they can't find no balance in their life. Well, where you gonna get it from? Where you gonna get it from? Talk to me. They run into the church. You better go find Jesus. Jesus ain't giving us no dang on balance. Jesus ain't giving us no equilibrium. Jesus ain't telling us that we God. Jesus ain't giving us this recollection of who we are. Jesus ain't giving us that, y'all. Let's just be real. Jesus ain't telling us in Christianity that you are the black Messiah. Jesus ain't doing that. No. They're telling you to get on your knees and bow down to yourself and look for some man in the sky that lived thousands of years ago. They're not telling you about the here and now. So where y'all gonna go to get the restoration that you need of self? Because that's what the spiritual journey is all about. Being reconnected with yourself. Who are you? And you not who's on your birth certificate. You not what your mama and daddy named you. That ain't got nothing to do with who you are. Who are you? Where did you come from? What is your significance? What is your purpose? Do you know that? Because if you cannot answer any of those questions, y'all, I'm telling you. And again, this is not to tell nobody. I'm not telling nobody to become a Muslim. What I am saying is that from what I've experienced and from what the messages were coming to me spiritually, that I went to go see for myself and investigate, the Nation of Islam is the real mental health lounge for the people of color, for the black men and the women that's been incarcerated, for those who grew up without fathers, for those who grew up lost in the sauce in these ghettos, and you didn't have no sight of yourself as a successor, or you didn't have any sight, or you walking around here killing yourself over a neighborhood that you didn't even have nothing to do with the building of. These neighborhoods don't belong to us, but y'all willing to die for them. West now, Brightmoor. Y'all willing to die for that? Y'all willing to die for a neighborhood that these people slapped you in because they said you ain't good enough to go live over here in the outer spaces where you got better things, better manpower, everything is better. You ain't good enough for that. We're gonna slap you over here in the swamps. And y'all over here fighting and killing each other over that. Over land that you ain't got, that you don't even own. Come on, y'all. But this right here, the rise of the real God in the flesh. Yes, baby. This is the conversations that you go to the mosque and hear. This is what I've heard. And I'm highly, highly, highly motivated, inspired, and impressed to come here and encourage any of our people that's really looking for your higher self, your higher consciousness. Just go listen. Just go get that life's water for yourself. You ain't got to sign no contracts, no papers. And we out here paying all this money to try to get our kids in these programs, and our kids still getting caught up in these neighborhoods with the wrong people, with the bad association. They still got all this social media stuff being thrown in their face, all this rap music hype, and all this over-sexualized stuff. No real role models to look up to. But we paying our money. Single mothers, ladies, goddesses, queens. If y'all can go get y'all hair done every 2 weeks and go get y'all nails done and go get these people y'all money, y'all can donate some money to the Nation of Islam and help your son, help the future, help your seed, help yourself. Help yourself. You procreated that. You the mother of every little Aboriginal or indigenous, whatever you want to call it, black boy. We the civilization of that, baby. We the civilization of that. And I heard a brother say something the other day. He said that, no, we not the backbone. We the cornerstone. Oh, I felt that. Oh, I felt that when he said it. I felt it. But we've been called the backbone for so long that not everybody want to burden us with the problems of the black nation and why it's messed up. It's all the black woman's fault. Black woman this, black woman that. That's all you hear. That's all you hear. Ain't y'all tired of that? Don't y'all want to hear something uplifting about yourselves as women of color? Please. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying. You want to get some real mental encouragement, real spiritual rehab. You want to go around discipline men, discipline people. And I'm not saying these people are perfect, but they're perfect at doing what they do. So let me put that out there. So this is for anybody, that's on a spiritual journey. I just wanted to come out here and, give my review, about what I'm experiencing in my own spiritual walk and my own spiritual journey. They are there to uplift you as the original God and goddess of this planet. And believe you me, them dreams I was having is a reality. So I was getting a memo from my ancestors. They let me know you're going to need refuge. You want your sons to be disciplined, you need to take them in this direction. And the thing I love about this is you can see what they do with their money. You go to these churches, they do what they do, but I see the nation got their own schools. They got come on now. They give back to the community. They stay doing community work all the time, and it's not to try to bribe nobody to become a Muslim, because naturally a lot of y'all are already Muslim, whether you know you are or not. If you understood your ancient ancestry and where you come from, a lot of y'all ancestors were Muslim, especially if you saying you were Moor or a Mason or any of that. We the originators of all that, baby. All that. All that. And we will say that we're the original people of Christianity, but not the one we know today. We're not the originators of this Christianity of today, that Constantine version. We're not the originators of that. Our oppressors are. So y'all got to make this make sense. They telling you to go around here worshiping something that means death. That's what this means. This was a symbol of persecution and death. They killed people on these things. That's what they did. They also used it to talk about, okay, I ain't gonna go there, but it's also a sexual meaning behind it. There's no woman in this. There's no woman in this. So go figure on that. So anyway, I didn't want to keep y'all long, but I did want to talk about the Nation of Islam and how I see so many young men in there. They're disciplined. They're walking in a power because they know who they are. They know who they are. The women, they in their divine power, baby. That is how you build a nation, y'all. This is how you create an army that's ready to tap into their ancestry, that's ready to tap into their ancestors and fight back. Because those people out there, they don't mess with these folks. And you got to ask yourself, why not? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to leave that there for you to think about. So on that note, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, and those who did stick around and, kind of clinging to the message, and those that shared it, I appreciate y'all so much. Peace be upon to everybody that stuck around, and I hope you really got something out of this message. I encourage anybody that's, in the area of a mosque to just go visit. Just go see. Go hear a good mess. I couldn't stop clapping. I kept wanting to stand up. And, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that acrobat stuff. Ain't none of that. You're going to get something real. You're going to get something authentic out of that. So, mad respect to the Nation of Islam. Mad respect to Fard Muhammad. Mad respect to Elijah Muhammad. Mad respect to Farrakhan. Mad respect to the FOI, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Being reconnected to your ancient culture is an overwhelming emotional feeling that I can't explain. You just have to go through it yourself. So on that note, I'm out of here. My name is Nairi Sanchez. I'll share to y'all if y'all want to see this video again or share it. I will upload it to my YouTube channel, The Talking Tarot Show. That's in the description of my bio link, or you can catch me on Facebook at Nairi Sanchez. Okay, y'all? Happy Monday, y'all. Have a grantastic day and a grantastic week. And I'll see y'all on the next live. Peace.